The thing I love most about duck hunting is spending time with my friends, getting out there on the water with them and watching the sun come up over the water and how the birds coming through the timber and just the beauty of the nature that God's blessed us with is what I really enjoy. One of the things about Sarah that I love the most is that she does like to do outdoor stuff like I do. And we go canoeing and trout fishing, and she does go hunting and duck hunting with me. I wouldn't want somebody that just wanted to sit at the house all the time, because I like to get up and go do things and be on the go. I don't like to be a homebody. I like a busybody, and she likes to do the same thing. So that just was more of the things that drew me to her.
I just think being outdoors as a family, you have no other care in the world. Like, you're focused on what is happening now. And being with the kids and Ryan and just all of us being together, like that's everything.
I've always been a healthy person, never been sick, missed work or anything like that. Even if I feel a little bit bad, still go to work. Nothing's ever got me down like this did. The company I worked for had bought a company out in Oklahoma, so I'd been out there the past 3 weeks working, coming home on the weekends, and just, going strong all the time. Came home, played with the kids, put them to bed, went to bed ourselves, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I never had been sick before, and whenever I couldn't breathe that well, and I kept getting up to go to the bathroom and was sick, and then Sarah woke up, and she's like, "Do you want Mom to come over and watch the kids, and I'll take you to the hospital?" I was like, "Yes."
We went to the Dardanelle Hospital, which is our local hospital. They got him on oxygen, and they said, "We're going to run some tests, try and see what it is," and they did the x-ray, and they found what they thought was a blood clot in his lung. That was when they said, "We're going to Baptist." They called us into the private room. 2 doctors came in. One was Dr. Jones, and they sat down, and it's one thing I'll never forget is he sat down and he said, "We have a very, very sick man, and we do not know why." They told us that they were going to have to sedate him to try and figure out what was going on. So they went ahead and started that whole process. As they were beginning to administer all the medicine, that's when he went to cardiac arrest. When he told us, he was like, "We worked on him for 2 hours," and he was like, "That's unheard of. Like, that's not something that we do." I mean, he could have called it at any minute. Ryan's heart had stopped beating, but he continued to work on him. Once Dr. Jones got his heartbeat back, they moved him to the coronary care unit, and that is when they noticed all his organs were beginning to shut down. That's when they came out. All of our families were in one room, and they came in there and they said, "He's still very sick, and y'all need to pray for a miracle." The very first thing I did was I got on our church's Facebook page, and I said, "I need y'all to pray. Ryan's in the hospital. Just please start praying." And people that I don't even know were messaging me and saying, "We're praying for you. Like, you don't know me and I don't know you, but I'm praying for you." So social media played a huge role when he was sick. Every morning and every evening I posted an update about him, and when something during the day happened and we needed prayers immediately, that's where I went. Our first prayer was answered when they came in there and said that his lungs were improving. So on that next day, when they came in there and they found out he had blood clots all in his body, and that's when they said that we're going to do a CT scan, and that's when they ended up finding the tumor. They said, "We need you to do what you did yesterday. Whatever that was, do it again." And so that's when we were storming the gates of heaven again, asking for another miracle. Those doctors and nurses, I mean, once they got in there and they were able to really work on him, it was amazing to see the improvements. Once they started pulling all the machines off, it was like a light had been flipped. I mean, you could see him coming back. You could see his color coming back. You could see him looking like the old Ryan that you remember. Like, you have an image of someone in your mind of how they are, full of life, always smiling, always happy. And then it's gone for 10 days. Like, you don't see it. But then once you see it again, like, it's overwhelming, and you remember why you fell in love with him. Like, all those emotions just come back.
Well, after being in the hospital 32 days, you come home, you want to get better, you want to be able to do things for the kids, and that was some of my goals because they're always first, is to do stuff for my kids, and then make it to the fantasy football draft with my buddies and do that, and then The initial goal after that was for sure be ready by opening day of duck season, which was in the second week of November, and I was able to do that. So this whole experience for me is, you know, you hear growing up where people say you're not promised tomorrow, you're not promised the next 10 minutes. Going through this, I realized that you're not promised the next 3 seconds. None of us are. And so you do everything you can to make your life as full as it can be. And you always say that, but you don't realize it until you experience something like I went through. And so we don't take anything for granted anymore.